Hi everyone, it's Friday morning. Excuse me, Susan, I'm starting hoarse here. It's Friday morning, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the future of philosophy 336 and the final. Okay, first of all, big apology. Big apology because I misinformed you about our place in the course. I told you that it was week 7 when it was only week 6. I'm sorry for that. Dumb professor as it were. Okay, our class is over on the 16th or the 17th. uh, what I wanted of April, what I wanted to communicate here is I don't lock the course down, far from it. This means you can have a couple of extra days if you need them. I advise you, if it looks as though you're going to run over, to contact me so we can, make sure that we're all on the same page about what you owe and how you're doing. And by the same token, you're welcome to hand in back work, basically up until the last minute of the class, because we're a very small class, and so I can field the back work. So if you've not done paper one, just submit it when you can. Okay. And so, okay, so that's the first thing. I'm not locking the class down. We have 2 more weeks for the class. The second major point that I want to make has to do with your final. And I know I'm skipping paper two, and I have not really written you in depth about paper two because it's really short and really simple. You shouldn't really take more than maybe 2 hours at the most to write it. But regarding the final, that's a little harder and it's a little more subtle. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay, so here is the main point I want to make about the final. It is supposed to be, number one, a labor of love. Number two, it's supposed to be written in your natural speaking voice. Okay, so you're going to ask, what is my natural speaking voice? Maybe I don't have a natural speaking voice. Okay, what I mean by that is that you choose your audience, and you choose your audience very precisely, according to your interests and background and whatever. It doesn't make any difference to me what. Yeah, I mean, your audience could be a bunch of golden retrievers. I mean, I don't really care what your audience is, but I want you to define it. And I hope you're all laughing, by the way. That was a very funny haha joke. But you want to define your audience very clearly and then present the paper that is appropriate to them. Okay, now the paper itself combines two things that are really, I think, really important, and I'm very proud of this class because I took over a class that was really a real mess and had no philosophy in it and had a bunch of terrible sources. And I brought up the level in both cases. That is, I had us focus on the key moments, the whatever 4, 5, 6, 7 key moments in the history of philosophy. I chose short texts and not 300-page books that no one could possibly read, and I use extremely high quality, non-specialized sources. Okay, and so the idea is, after this course is over, you can continue to read in the history of philosophy and get an idea, sort of what it really is, and not what people think it is. And on the one hand, on the other hand, you can continue reading those economist special articles because they're pretty much the best. I don't always agree with their ideology or their politics. I often disagree with that, actually. But the way of marshaling and analyzing data is really good and can serve as a model, especially for those of you who are going to be writing on the job, really writing on the job, or going and getting masters and doctorates. You want to kind of look at see what they do there. Okay, so you're bringing basically your impressions of the philosophical part of the course, your reflections on the contemporary views, and you're just talking to people for somewhere between 3 and 7 pages. I would say aim for 4 or 5. That's fine. Short is fine. Okay, this is in general. The shorter, I have a theory here, the shorter the paper, the shorter the presentation, the better it is normally. So it can be short. Now, I also wanted to talk about the PowerPoint. And let me just tell you the truth. And this is one of the nice things about the film here, the talking into the camera. And that is, I put this in the final assignment for a lot of reasons. The main one, however, and this is where I'm just going to be candid here, is that everyone knows how to use PowerPoint now. Duh, you learn it in the 6th grade. However, not so many people know how to give or use PowerPoint effectively. The tendency at all levels, and not, quote unquote students, but I just came from a conference where I was subjected to a lot of horrible PowerPoint presentations, and I was ready to strangle them all because I should have known better. But okay, what people do is cram a lot of too much prose, too many words on those PowerPoint slides, and they read they read the slides. Okay, that's exactly what you don't want to do. The PowerPoint slides are just a colored note card put up over your shoulder, okay, to keep you on track and to give the audience an idea of what you're talking about and where you're headed. You should never, as a presenter, never read those slides. On the contrary, it's exactly what you don't want to do. This means that creating a 5 or 6 slide PowerPoint is very simple, because you just need, I would say on the average, you need 20 maybe words per slide, and you don't do whole sentences. You just do talking points, as in 1 to 4 words. I should really no bullet point on a PowerPoint should be over 4 or 5 words in most cases. Obviously, if you're quoting a sentence, then maybe it can get a little bit longer. If you're quoting a passage, then I see that there's a reason for making it longer. But those are the exceptions, basically. Once you decide on your audience, once you write, the first draft of this paper, you should be able to do the PowerPoint in, seriously, under 15 minutes, I would say. Those of you who are pretty experienced doing PowerPoints, it should take 5 minutes, okay? When I do PowerPoints, I never spend more than 10 minutes on them. Now, I don't, many of you have much superior, media skills to mine, which are pretty bad. I just have some of them when I really need pretty pictures and graphs and stuff like that. I just don't trust myself. It takes me too long, so I let someone else do it. But I know many of you have those skills and are really good at it. So if you want to spend a little more time, with images and stuff like that, that's great. That's really good. I will give you credit for it. I will reward you. And, my artist's eye likes that. So, don't hesitate. But I don't want anyone to get feel anxiety about the PowerPoint thing. If you simply, for whatever, let's say you hate PowerPoints, you have an obsession against PowerPoints, then just don't do it. Just say, I don't really feel comfortable doing a PowerPoint, and I'll write it for you, or something like that. We'll work something out. It's no big deal. The thing that I'm looking for, let me conclude now. The thing that I'm looking for in this assignment is that, once again, it's your natural tone of voice. You have a little bit of philosophy in there. You have an engagement in the